Okay, in addition to the other video I did, we were talking about economy of motion and just kind of showing, isolating a part of your draw stroke to see how much time little things add. And a lot of people commented on, well, imagine how much time it's going to add coming from concealment or deep concealment. So that's what I want to do today. I'm kind of wearing my, going to a business meeting today, kind of closed, but I still got my M&P shield 9mm here at about 4:30, 5 o'clock. And let's see how much time those two drills add from deep concealment. Now, I typically don't carry like this, but I do occasionally, and I should probably train more than I do for it. So what I'm going to do, instead of just doing one and then doing another one, I'm going to do 3 of each so that I can get a baseline on each one of these things. Okay, so what I'm going to do is beep and bang, coming from just a relaxed position, moving this jacket, grabbing the weapon, presenting, bang, high center mass. Do that 3 times, sort of get an idea of the average time it's taking me to do that. And then go ahead and isolate the movement of getting this jacket out of the way, which seems like such a simple thing. Oh, just move the jacket and draw the gun. Well, let's see how not simple it is on the clock. Okay, so the third, or the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds, I'm going to come from here. Okay, and isolate having to move this jacket and find my grip. And so we can see how that same isolation from deep concealment is going to add even more time because there's more steps. Economy of motion is all about eliminating steps. How do I get the sights on target as quick as possible? Well, I can't help but have to move this. But instead of just going to my gun now, I'm going to the gun, getting enough momentum from this to get it out of the way. Then I got to come back to the gun, get a grip, draw, and fire. So I'm really adding a few steps just to move the jacket out of the way. So let's get the baseline coming all the way from deep concealment, and then once we've established that, let's isolate some of those steps and see how much those things are burning us in terms of clock. Okay, so starting from a relaxed deep concealment position, random shot timer. Let's just go and see how it happens. See what happens? A random timer goes anywhere between 1 second and 4 seconds. Well, it was nice enough to throw me a 1 second shot time out there, so I wasn't really setting my relax. That's how the real world works. And I had a 1.76. I'm surprised I was sub 2 seconds because when I grabbed the gun, I was grabbing the gun through my jacket. So I don't know how I got sub 2 seconds on that. But let's do it a couple more times and see if we can get an average. 1.47, better shot, so sub 1.5 seconds. That's kind of where I want to be from this kind of concealment. Better shot, better everything. Not as thrown off from grabbing the jacket. One more time. Grab the jacket again. It's going to happen, but you've got to keep fighting. Keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. That's what I'm always telling people in my classes. So, in review, we had a 1.76, a 1.47, and a 1.64. 2 of those grabbing jackets, but that's what you're going to expect in the real world. That kind of stuff happens. So let's just average that out to 1.5 seconds. Okay, 1.5 seconds from deep concealment. I don't remember exactly what my shot time was. I think it was, I'm typically at about 0.9 to 1.05 or something like that. So I'm sure that's where it was at in that range without deep concealment on the last video. So let's reset this, do 3 more, but this time I'm going to come from already having my hand on my weapon. So let's say, hey man, it's cool, I'm going to get my wallet, it's cool, and then draw and bang. Let's see what the time is there. Isolating all this jacket and all that kind of junk. .74, so not as fast as I'm going to be from 3 o'clock with no jacket or this passive retention is actually harder to draw from than a level 2 for me because the tension's so tight to hold it in there. Where a level 2, as long as you hit that retention device, the mechanical retention device is coming out. So let's do that 2 more times and see if we can't get an average. .069. I'm on the white bottle shape, and if that's a humanoid target that actually has shoulders and the rest of his chest, it's a good shot on target, but I'm not super thrilled with it. One more, and let's talk. Alright, 061. So pretty Pretty standard. All my shots are on target and high center mass. I would assume there's a couple that are low center mass, you know, bottom of the lungs, diaphragm shots. But you know, look, if you're hitting minute of man when you need to put a hole in him right now, that's something. So, my 3 times for deep concealment: 176. I'm probably not doing the camera, but you don't need to see my face. 147 and 164, so we said an average time of about 1.5 seconds. And then we had a .74, a .69, and a .61. So they're getting faster as I'm going. We'll go ahead and say the .69 is the average there. So almost adding, not quite, but almost adding a full second just to get this jacket out of the way, get a grip on the weapon, and then catch up to where we were without having to do that. So that's a lot of time. I mean, a ton of time. We were griping, or I was griping yesterday about adding 4/10 and 4/100 of a second to a draw stroke. We're talking, you know, 9/10 of a second. And it seems, why would it take a second to move your jacket out of the way? Well, you got all this momentum to get that clear and out of the way, and then you got to come back to the gun, draw it out at a weird angle because you're at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then come past more of your body before you're back to 4 or 3 in the draw stroke, coming from 3 o'clock and an open carry or concealment on the side from 3 o'clock. So, look, time is blood when you're talking about a gunfight. So we want to eliminate as much of the bleeding and as much of the ticking as we can. So practice this stuff. Obviously, you can see my deficiencies. I mean, I need to practice from this a little bit more than I do because I do carry like this from time to time. But don't kid yourself. Don't think that you know, drawing off the counter and shooting at the pistol range is translating into the real world in a gunfight, because it just isn't. The fundamentals are important, and you should be doing that stuff. There is a time and place for going, picking a gun up, controlling your breathing, get perfect isosceles stance or whatever it is you shoot. Should be isosceles, okay, and then go from there.